Ordinary People by Diana Evans, read by Jennifer Saayeng. I built myself a house of glass. It took me years to make it, and I was proud. But now, alas, would God, someone would break it. But it looks too magnificent. No neighbour casts a stone from where he dwells, in tenement or palace of glass, alone. Edward Thomas. Chapter 1. M and M. To celebrate Obama's election, the Wiley brothers threw a party at their house in Crystal Palace. They lived near the park, where the transmitting tower loomed up towards the heavens like a lesser Eiffel, stern and metallic by day, red and lit up by night, overlooking the surrounding London boroughs and the home counties beyond, and harbouring in the Greenland, at its feet, the remains of the former glass kingdom, the lake, the maze, the broken Greek statues, the eroded stone lions, and the dinosaurs made of old science. The Wileys were originally from north of the river, and had moved to the south for its creative energy and the charisma of its poverty. They were conscious of their privilege and wanted to be seen as having survived it spiritually. Bruce, the older, was a well-known photographer. His studio a labyrinth of lights and darkness at the rear of the house. Gabriele was an economist. They were opposites in all things. Bruce was large, Gabriele was thin. Bruce drank, Gabriele did not. Bruce did not own a suit, Gabriele was a suit. But they threw a party with shared commitment and singular intent. First, they decided on their guest list, which featured all the important, successful and beautiful people they knew, such as lawyers, journalists, actors and politicians. Depending on the size of the event, less eminent guests were chosen on a sliding scale according to rank, connections, looks and personality, which the brothers went through in their conservatory, where they had most of their evening discussions. On this occasion, they invited more people than usual, as they wanted it to be bombastic. When the list was finalised, Gabriele sent round a text. Next, they arranged for the 3 essential ingredients: drinks, food, and music. The party was scheduled for the Saturday immediately following the election, so they didn't have much time. They bought bottles of champagne, and macadamias, and chicken wings, and pimento olives, all the while going over the highlights of their sleepless Tuesday night, when they had watched the Blue States eating up the Red States, and Jesse Jackson's tears in Grant Park, and the 4 Obamas strolling out victorious onto the bullet-proofed stage. Then the weather the next day, so bright and blue for November, and people, strangers, open and smiling and saying good morning to one another, in London. They imagined, as they planned their playlist, to pass on to the DJ, Jill Scott, Al Green, Jay-Z, wafting out of the windows of the White House. For the purposes of insulation and protection, they covered the metallic bookshelves in the living room with sheets of chipboard and laid disused mats over the walnut floors. They left the Chris of Philly on the centre wall, a sofa below and some scattered cushions, but most of the furniture was removed. Gabriele placed a note on the bathroom mirror, asking people to respect that this was someone's house and not a nightclub. Then the people came. They came from all over, from the towns across the river and the blocks off the A205, from the outer suburbs and the neighbouring streets. They came wearing faux fur coats with skinny jeans, shiny, glinting Oxford Circus sandals and flashy shirts. They too had stayed up on Tuesday night, watching Blue eat red, and the Obama daughters walking onto the stage in their small, well-tailored dresses, and their excited shoes had reminded many of them of the 4 little girls bombed 45 years before in the church in Alabama by the Ku Klux Klan. That, perhaps, was what made Jesse Jackson cry, that they walked in their flames, and it was impossible to look at this new advancement of history without also seeing the older, more terrible one. And thus, the celebration was at the same time
Sample complete. Ready to continue?